Let's get started. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. It's so good to be live again. I haven't done anything, I haven't done anything live like this for probably a couple years. So it's really, really fun to be back with all of you and see all your smiling faces up there on the top banner. It's so great. I've missed doing this. So it's good to be back. I wanted to do this event because there has been so much going on with the energy and so much changing rapidly for all of us. And I'm sure that you in your own lives have been experiencing this. I certainly have in a really big way. So I wanted to get together live because I've been connecting with a new collection of guides. I would say it's a new collective of energy is probably a better way to put it. That has been bringing in some really incredible activations for me and some of my clients. And I wanted to share that with all of you as well because it's very pertinent to what we're going through right now. We're going through a very, very powerful transition right now that is enabling us to move through this divine rebalancing, this divine repatterning of the way that we express ourselves in form and the way that our DNA vibrates and the way our DNA expresses itself. So we're heading into a whole new expression of human consciousness and human beingness. And as we do that, a lot of things are occurring in our physical bodies and in our mental, emotional bodies that is helping us to get to that finish line. And that portal we're going to walk through is the summer solstice. And to get to that place, though, there's a lot of energetic pressure upon all of us to clear out the old detritus, to really basically do a reckoning of all that we've experienced emotionally and physically in this present lifetime that is serving as the microcosm to the macrocosm of your overall soul experience. So it's big, big stuff. It's happening on many layers of your being, not just your present incarnation. It's happening much deeper through your Akashic field. But because we are here in presence during this amazing time of transformation on the planet, we're really feeling it most acutely. But what happens when the frequency increases the way it has been lately is that your other lives that your soul has experienced itself through form begin to become very present in your field. So you might be feeling a new anxiety that you've never felt before. You might be feeling new emotions that have been long buried and they're related to other lifetimes that your soul has expressed as. And that's all coming into a divine rebalancing right now. This is the great rebalancing of humanity. This is the great rebalancing of Earth. This is the great rebalancing of polarity, of self versus other, of black and white, of good and bad, of all of the separation that we experience outside of oneness. We are moving our consciousness into a stream of oneness and an expression of oneness. And so this whole event was kicked off by some very powerful celestial events that occurred in March. Since January, we've been having some really high frequency love energy coming in, and it's been coming in and powerfully affecting our DNA and going right into our heart and right into our energy field in a really powerful way to help us to begin to soften our frequency. And it was almost like it was massaging our energy field into a state of readiness and openness. Because what happened in March is that we had these three major celestial events. We had a lunar eclipse that really drew us right into our shadow and brought it right up front and center for us so that we could understand it better and we could rebalance our energy in relationship to what we've experienced in this lifetime. And again, what we've experienced in this lifetime is much bigger and goes into a much larger expression of self at the soul level. And so that was big stuff, and it was very deep and personal, very personal. Even if other people in your life were related to the energy of what you were going through, it was probably a very personal journey for you to take. So that was occurring in the beginning of March, at the end of February, and then up until we had that lunar eclipse. That was followed then by the equinox. And the equinox was described to me as a turnstile. So it was a moment where we had this opportunity to either move forward, or if we still needed to go back, it was an opportunity to return back to that shadow work and do more shadow work. And it's not as simple as, okay, I just moved forward and I'm not going to have to do any more shadow work again. It's really more that the majority of our awareness either made this decision to move forward and to be part of the new consciousness, or it said, you know what, I'm really not ready to up level like that right now. It makes me literally feel like I'm ripping apart. I can't take that right now. I'm not ready to vibrate at that frequency. So I'm just gonna take a little rest over here, and I'm gonna stay in this energy of the shadow work for a moment longer, forever, how long you need it to. And there's really no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong way to go about this. It's really a very personal journey, and you've got to do it in accordance with what your energy field is ready for. It's very, very important, because these are not energies to toy with or to experiment with if you're not ready for them. So the equinox happens. So it's about bringing karmic rebalancing. We move through that, and then what do we have the following week is we have a solar eclipse, and the solar eclipse really kind of elevated us into that new spiral of expression. So this is where our DNA really starts to shift, and our DNA really starts to vibrate at a new higher level. And so what this new higher level does is it brings us into a higher level of awareness and consciousness, so that it's not that you don't continue to notice or unearth or uncover aspects of your experience thus far that is ready to be repatterned, is ready to be released and reintegrated into your field and with a new understanding. It's more that it happens at a much faster rate. So we've all been feeling this energy of April. It's moving very quickly. It's high powered, and it's bringing in a lot of new intention. It's bringing in a lot of power of creation energy. It's catapulting us into new projects and new ideas. So it's got a lot of forward thrust to it. But the purpose of that thrust is about bringing you closer and closer to your soul frequency, so that you can live out your purpose here, and you can really truly align in a very powerful way to your overall soul purpose. So that is the reason that that solar eclipse then just catapulted us into that new energy. So I want to tell you a little bit about my journey. It's a little bit of a personal story, but I want to share this journey with you because it's very relevant to what's going on right now, and then the reason why we're getting prepped in this way, because we're getting prepped for a very special event that's happening at the summer solstice. Right now, I'm broadcasting from Mount Shasta, California, and this is an incredibly powerful place, as many of you probably know. And the energy here is so incredible. It's all root chakra, but it's also so expansive and heart opening that it helps you to move through whatever it is that you're ready to move through in a really rapid way. So, gosh, it all happened so divinely guided. I began connecting in late February to a new collective of energies, and that's who we're going to be working with today to do the activations. And this group came in, and they're very vested in humanity's ascension. Let's just say that, because they've been part of our story. Some would say since the very beginning. That I've read books from Zecharia Sitchin that said, this group of beings has been here since the very beginning, and that they played a very prominent hand in the way that our DNA expresses itself. Not exactly right now, but probably back more like in Atlantean times, when we had a higher frequency of expression from our DNA. As many of us know, that's been shifted and sort of down geared many times over the years, over the thousands of years since that time in Atlantis. But they had a very prominent role in infusing a lot of their own divine and high frequency abilities into the human genome. So again, they have this very invested interest in seeing us elevate our consciousness and come into a greater frequency and a greater connection to our own connection to oneness. So that collective group came in and started connecting with me really unexpectedly. I didn't ask for it. I was sitting in meditation every day. I go out in my backyard and I do the 5 movements, which some of you are probably familiar with, and I practice some other sacred geometric movements to get my energy flowing and to get connected to the earth and connected to the cosmos. And as I do that, it really opens me up and it brings me into a nice resonant field of expression. And then I sat down back there facing the redwood forest and I started a meditation, and very quickly this collective energy came in and really held me in its flow of energy. And as it did, it helped me immediately begin repatterning and revising my whole perception of my childhood. It was kind of crazy. It was kind of like speed dating. It was like taking me through all these events that occurred in my childhood that I had a particular perception about and I had a story about in my brain and in my emotional field. And it basically realigned me to an entirely new definition of all of these experiences, basically giving me a bird's eye view of everything that happened from a perspective that I couldn't have possibly had at that time because I was just a 2-year-old child. So it was really incredible. And it held me wrapped in this energy for several hours. And I went through my life and I went through many, many powerful emotional events and got a whole new revised history and a whole new energy connection to them. It literally changed the pattern, the geometric pattern of DNA expression around my body. So that began to happen at the end of February, and this group of beings continued to work with me. They would come into my dreams. They would bring my deceased parents into my dreams to help me to heal and to understand things from a new perspective, from a new vantage point. And that is really about what is happening to all of us right now. We're going to begin expressing from a new vantage point. And as we do that, all of the density that we've been holding on to begins to just dissipate and dissolve. It happens very quickly, and it happened to me over that period of time very quickly. It was remarkable, and I've never experienced anything like that. So I'm very happy to have them with us today so that all of you can experience their energy as well. And I'm feeling that they're probably going to come in at some point and start channeling as well. And so when I start closing my eyes and when I start feeling their energy coming in, then you'll know that that's what I'm doing. So right before this connection with this guide happened, I had decided through a connection with one of my dear clients that I was going to do a retreat in Mount Shasta this year. And I wasn't even clear exactly on the dates, but we were working together with another friend of mine who's coming, and we're trying to find a good date. And we settled on some dates in June that worked for everybody. And we decided to do it then. And I found a place to rent, not exactly where I wanted to be, but I found a place. And then everything started to happen with this guide. And then I kept getting information just dropped in. Every morning I'd wake up early, 4 a.m., I'd get all this information. And at the same time, I was also doing a lot of breath work. And the breath work was helping to release some of the density from my body. And I've been talking about that on the videos I've been putting up lately. And I think that that was also a very important part of the equation. And I'm bringing it up because it can help each and every one of you as well to release a lot of density from the body very rapidly. So I'm going through this process and I'm getting hits of, psychic hits to connect to different people and to reach out. And so I reached out to the gentleman that owns this magical property in Shasta, and that's where I am right now with a very high frequency, and to inquire whether he had any openings this summer. And at that point, he was completely booked for the entire summer. And I said, well, if anything opens up, please keep me in mind. I don't know if it was 24 hours later that he wrote me back and he said, God, it's crazy. Somebody just canceled and you just popped into my head and you just wrote me. And so it just feels like I'm supposed to offer it to you. And he said, but I don't know if it's going to be too soon for you or what it is. And he said, it's in June. And it happened to be the exact same dates that I had intended to come to Shasta. And the funny thing is that I didn't even realize that it was over the solstice. That is the funniest part. And because the breadcrumbs were coming in very slowly from this collective energy. And so when I realized that, I just had this, oh my gosh, of course this is it. So of course I said yes. And I realized, okay, this is all kind of happening, orchestrated by this collective group of beings that is supporting all those people that are meant to come to Shasta and to experience this energy here, because it is such a high frequency here, to move through this divine portal. It is an incredible opportunity for rebalancing. It's an incredible opportunity for moving into a new level of consciousness. It's an incredible opportunity to release what we've been dragging around with us for so long through our soul field, right? And just to come into a new level of sovereignty. That is really what it's all for. We were brought into being at the level of consciousness that we have the potential and the capacity to express through our DNA by this collective of beings many hundreds of thousands of years ago through sovereignty. We were meant to be here through our sovereignty, through our own knowing of that, through our own experience of that. Of course, when we are on the other side, we know ourselves as sovereign when we're souls. But the trick is to be an incarnate physical being and also embody that sovereignty at the same time. That is the potential of the human through our DNA's expression. And that is what we are moving into more and more. And the Solstice Gateway is an incredible mile marker, a milestone, is an incredible portal for bringing and actuating more of that into our current experience. So that is why that is so important. That is why this collective group of beings has been coming into my field. They're working through me to help bring this energy to the planet. And it is all part of a bigger picture of the divine rebalancing of Earth herself, the divine rebalancing of many of the aspects of the cosmos. Years ago, many of you who have been with me know that I often channel my mantis guide Mari. And she had always talked to me about how Earth was part of a 12 planet nodal connection, and that these 12 planets were all evolving simultaneously, but at their own rate. So for humans, we don't always evolve and show up. We don't always incarnate and show up on this version of Earth or in this planet, but we do show up and we do decide to incarnate on different versions, or basically they're not all exactly like Earth, but they're different versions of an environment and an atmosphere that humans and expressions of ourselves that are similar can tolerate and can thrive in. And so these different experiences that we've had are all related. All of these Earth nodes or Earth-like planet nodes are related. And our ascension is affecting each other. So everything that's happening here is happening on these string, and it's an energetic string of planets that are connected. So she told me that story a long time ago about how we're not alone in this. We're part of a collective. And they're not all even they're definitely not in our solar system. They're not even all in our galaxy. It's a much broader energetic net that this 12 grouping is part of. And so I'm just going to take a sip of tea because my throat is getting a little hoarse. And so as we evolve and as we bring rebalancing to our own microcosmic field, to the broader community that we live in, whether it's our family or whether it's a larger community, and then to the whole human collective, to Earth herself, it has a far-reaching impact. It impacts all of the beings that have been in support of our evolution. It impacts our whole ancestral line. It is such a big deal what we're going through right now. It just can't be understated. Um, this collective of guides has really been pressing on me to also travel to Egypt. I'm going to be doing that later this year with two beloved friends, and we're going to be following a whole initiatory path of Hathor and Horus to bring this weaving of these energies together. And I'm sharing all of this with you because I want you to understand that although this is my story and how this is occurring, and how I am intending to share it with anyone who wants to join me over the solstice, that it is also everyone's story. We're all going through this same rebalancing, the same repatterning, and the same weaving together of energies in our field to create a whole new level of expression through our DNA. All of what we've been doing up until this point has really led us to this place. And it's not to say that there's no more expansion after this solstice portal. Of course, there will be more. It's never ending, right? It just keeps going. But it's such a beautiful new level of consciousness and awareness that we'll be stepping into. And it's such a beautiful time for humanity. And I'm so honored to be a part of it. And I'm so grateful to be aware of what is happening and to be able to share it with others, because I know that's what my soul journey is a part of, is to be here and to help bring these frequencies to the planet and to help everyone to repattern their own geometric DNA's expression through sound and through light and through this beautiful energy that has been that I've been very, very grateful to be able to channel. And so that's what I wanted to bring with you today. I wanted to bring you the beginning of that and a process that they've been working with me. They've been doing a sort of an up-leveling process of connecting the upper three chakras. So above the crown, there are three chakras. The one right above, directly above the crown, is the soul star chakra. The one above that is an ancestral star chakra. And above that is the universal consciousness, oneness, the overall, all that is energy at the apex at the top. And they're going to be running energy from each of these chakras through our bodies today in a very specific pattern. So they've come to let me know that the top chakra is going to be coming through, get this right, through the throat, because we want to be expressing ourselves through our divine sovereignty through the throat. The throat is very, very important. It's where we vocalize. And in the beginning, there was the word. And it is how we vocalize and bring energy into form. It is how we express ourselves into form through the voice. It is a very powerful aspect of human expression. And so they want us to have that whole Christed consciousness flowing through our throat so that we are speaking and expressing from that vibrational frequency. The soul star is very important, and they're going to link that to our solar plexus, because that golden energy that comes through the solar plexus will help us to express ourselves from our divine connection, which is our soul. Our soul connects us into that divine oneness field. And so we're going to do that through the soul and through the solar plexus. And then lastly, but not, of course, not least, we're going to link the ancestral energies, because these are very important because our ancestors have always been explained to me as not just those who you are connected to in energy right now through your own genetic story, but also every being through every different lifetime that you've incarnated through, both in form and not in form, every consciousness that you have experienced as separate from your soul energy. Each one of those beings has connections in energy and in form. And all of those beings who are part of that whole familial energetic line are all of your ancestral connections. You have ancestral connections that are both from your star families, from your earth families, from the other 12 nodes and planet families. You have so many varieties of connections in energy through this ancestral star chakra. And what this rebalancing that we're all going through right now is going through with all of them as well. And so it's just this beautiful moment of sharing this energy that Gaia has so eloquently brought us into through her vibrational transformation. And it's helping us to activate this and to bring about an incredible healing for our ancestral connections. And so that's going to move from that ancestral place, and it's going to go right through our root and our sacral, which is really, I mean, you might know as the lower dantian. So that energy is going to come through there, and it's going to go through that lower dantian. So we're going to be activating different parts. The heart energy, of course, is also going to be activated. And that is going to happen in a very special activation that is going to be a connection of all three of those upper chakras with the heart. That's going to be very powerful and will occur at the end as sort of a finale of energy connection. So that's what they're going to be bringing in. And they have a few words that they would like to share with you. So let me just bring them in right now. Yes, divine beings, we are here. We are part of this collective energy that is being created in this moment. And we thank you for being here and for participating and for bringing your presence of energy. We have been with you for your experiences while you've been here incarnating in this planetary system, this system of 12. We are part of this story. We are part of this unfolding and this evolution that flows up in frequency and down in frequency. It has been very varied. It's been varied. It's been a kaleidoscope of experience for each and every one of you at the soul level. And you have all incarnated multitudes of times in order to experience the different arrays of frequency that have been available to you in this system, this planetary system. For it is so informative to your soul's energy and thus informative to the collective energy of the one for you to experience yourself anew each time within a new frequency. But you are in a very, very beautiful transformational time right now that is very special in that it is bringing about an incredible amount of change, an incredible amount of integration and up leveling of very ancient energies that have been present upon not only this planet but in your cosmos. There has been this grand experiment of polarity, of separation, of self versus other. And it is not as though that experiment is coming to a close, because many beings will wish to continue within the boundaries of that experimentation laboratory, because that is a beautiful place of growth and of expansion and of learning, of deep, deep learning. It is not something to be feared or avoided or thought of as less than. It is a beautiful, beautiful place of teaching and of growth. And we want you to understand that there is no place that is better than, there is no energy or frequency or being that is more powerful than another. We are all part of the oneness of the all that is. There is nothing that is outside of that or separate. We are all brothers and sisters and loved ones in spirit. We are all connected through that. But each of us is in a different set of frequency experiences in the moment for the purposes of expansion and growth. And so we want you to know that, but we want you to know that at this moment in time, for this present incarnation that you are living into, that you have this really beautiful golden opportunity to jump into a new expression of self. It is a new platform of frequency that you will begin to operate from. And how is that possible in the human? It's always coming back to the DNA. It is the DNA that is your frequency generator. It is the DNA through the field of your heart that beats and pulses with the energy of your soul, and it brings in the potential and the growth and the expansion for you at every step of your journey here. And it is through your DNA's architecture and beautiful expression of that architecture through your heart that creates a whole field of energy around you. And that is why the practice of understanding sacred geometry, of understanding how to access the source field through the point of energy, is so important for you to all explore and embrace in this moment, because it is a doorway into a higher level of consciousness, as is many ways of shifting your frequency. Breathing, you are beings who breathe, and your breath is what connects you to your higher self. Your breath has always been a gateway or a doorway for you to access greater potentials within yourself, because it very expertly and easily, swiftly moves energy through your body. It doesn't allow it to get stuck, it moves it like a river. And that's what you want. You want the energy to flow through you like a river, unbidden and untormented, just allowed to flow through you, so that it is informative, but it is not destructive. A river that has not been dammed or has not been held back in any way flows through serenely. It doesn't have to be brought into a destructive pattern. It is only when it gets stuck that it can become destructive, through the wearing away of what was already there in form in the beginning. So we encourage you to breathe and to get the rivers of energy flowing through you. And we will be helping you to move those rivers of energy through you today. We would also encourage you to use sound, use the voice. You have these beautiful voices. Sing, tone, connect with the energies around you. Feel them in your body, feel the vibration, and match them through your voice. Allow that to be a part of your sovereignty and a part of your freedom. Each and every one of you should be singing and should be releasing your energy and your voice and your power through your voice. We want you to know the amount and the flow of energy and power that you each contain and hold within you. You each are divine, and you each have an immense amount of power. That power emanates from the core of your being, from the core of the energy that flows through you, through your chakra channels, through the power of that pranic tube, through the energy that is generated through the heart, through the DNA's still point, through each and every one of the power centers of your body. This is where the energy really flows through you and really becomes part of who you are. We want each and every one of you to know yourself as sovereign beings. We want each and every one of you to know that you are just as powerful as any other being who has ever interacted with you. There is no other who stands above you who is more powerful than you. We are all part of the collective fabric of the oneness. That is it. That is all there is to know. But the human has been brought into a frequency of diminishment, or a frequency of limitation. And we are here, and we are back to work with your DNA and to work with your energy to bring that freedom back into your field, and to elevate that expression and bring you back into that golden expression of your DNA, repatterning the energy fields around the DNA. Each of you has 2 physical strands of DNA and another 10 at least activated energetic strands of DNA. And as you begin to move through these patterns of energy and begin to embody a higher frequency within your field, within all of your energy portals, what will occur is that a whole nother set of 12 energetic layers of your DNA are going to come online. And there is no end to this. We've been working with you with the 12 for many years, and it is patterning into 24, and it will continue to pattern into higher levels. Beings who operate and who vibrate at higher frequencies, part of the reason they are able to maintain that frequency within themselves is because they have layer upon layer of these energetic fields of resonance around their DNA patterns. Whether that DNA is ever presented in matter and form and what you're used to, or whether it is energetic, because it is all energy at its core. Everything is vibrating, everything is energy. So, with that, let us bring you into a new state of expression with a very intentional connection of the energies between your upper chakras and your existing power centers within your human bodies, and to bring all of that into a culmination into the heart. And what we want you to know is what you are moving into is a unified field of expression of your whole energy being. All of your chakras, both major and minor, all of your meridian points, all of the subtle and not so subtle energy aspects to your being are coming into a unified field of patterning and expression. That is where you're moving towards with this beautiful energy that's coming in towards the solstice. So each of you may continue to understand aspects of self that are still healing and are still coming into a new pattern of sovereignty and freedom of expression. But it will be moving very rapidly through your field and through your consciousness. And so do not expect it to be a heavy lift. Do not expect it to be traumatizing or very heavy and dense. Expect it to be fast moving and facile. Expect it to move. And as you move closer and closer to the solstice, you will have a lightness and a lighter and lighterness of your being. And that will help you to really come into that presence and that alignment. For those of you who are able to travel to the portal of Mount Shasta, that will be a beautiful opportunity for you to deepen into this experience. And for those of you who will do it remotely, that will also be a beautiful experience for you. And we will be sure to come back and do a process with you either before or after the solstice in order for you to also have that experience from where you are if you're unable to travel to this very special place. Okay, so if I could have everyone begin by breathing into their bodies and connecting into your physical aspects. Okay, good. And as you breathe, begin to settle into your physical vehicle. Really relax into your current presence and feel that energy begin to open up and expand within your physical being. And the energy we're referring to is the energy of your soul. Because as you breathe into your physical being, it brings an alignment between you and your soul frequency. So we invite you to open yourselves up to that alignment. You and your soul sharing space, sharing frequency as you always do, but just bringing that into the surface of your awareness. Good. Yes. Good. And now we honor the process that we travel through at this time in parallel, in unison, in conjunction with Mother Gaia. So please all imagine, see, visualize roots flowing down from your body, down through the floor or into the earth, wherever you are if you're outside. And visualize those roots flowing down swiftly and easily down into the belly of earth. And as that energy flows down, it moves all the way down to her cosmic galactic core at her center. And it anchors into her golden light there and creates this strong bond of energy between you and Earth. And through this energy bond, we send Earth love and gratitude, peace and serenity. And for she too is going through this process of rebalancing and rebirth. Whew, yes. And so we make this connection with her. And as we do, she begins to create an expansion of her energy, and she begins to share the expansion of this golden light with you. And as you breathe, this light flows upwards through your roots and begins coming up into your body. The energy flows up into your body and begins to merge and flow with all of your cells, rising up from below, all the way up to the head, moving through the arms, moving through the legs, bringing you into Earth's own divine frequency, which is both balancing, healing, and calming. We are all children of the Earth because we are all children of the One. Take a nice deep breath as that energy settles into your system. And then we're going to open up the pranic channel of energy flow. So above you comes in a golden beam of light. It is about 3 inches in diameter, and it flows in through the upper 3 chakras, and through the crown, through the third eye, through the throat, through the heart, solar plexus, sacral chakra, root, down through the legs, through the 2 lower chakras, the earth chakra, and the bottom base chakra. And that flow moves down into earth, so we have a 2-way channel of energy coming both up from the earth and down from below, from above. And those 2 channels flow through you, blending perfectly and aligning your physical vehicle with the frequencies that are present. Breathe into that energy. Each breath should be a deep inhale that moves into the belly and then is slowly released through the mouth and is elongated to allow your body's nervous system to come into a full relaxation mode. And we would ask that you would continue this breathing and allow yourself to drop deeper into this state of relaxation and presence. This cosmic alignment effortlessly flowing through your being. Beautiful. Okay. And we're going to begin to weave the energies through your system. As mentioned previously, we're going to be weaving energies through the universal divine consciousness, through your throat, through your ancestral divine star of expression, through your sacral and root, and your soul through your solar plexus. Those three are going to begin to occur simultaneously as we bring through some frequencies. And then we will move into the heart with the trilogy of energies coming through. So continue to relax, allow. Deep breath. Okay. Activating the heart, opening the heart. Breathe right now into your heart. Connect with the energy at the center of your heart. I want you to see the energy at the center of your heart. We're going to move into the divine plane through the center of the center of the center of the heart. Feel your energy flowing into the center, dropping in, deepening into this well of energy in the center of the center of the center. Flowing inward, deeper and deeper until you reach a point where it can go no farther and you feel the light opening and the light begins to flow forth from that deep center and flows outward. And as this light flows outward, it creates an expression of toroidal pattern of energy out from the heart, and it flows out in this toroidal pattern, moving out in all directions around your heart, from front to back and all around, 360 degrees around your body. A huge pattern of toroidal energy from your heart flowing that energy, alighting your DNA still point within this place to come into a new level of expression and opening and vibrational frequency. And as this repatterning begins, we bring in the energies of the three, the trilogy of so above, so below, bringing into the body and creating this beautiful holy communion between what has always been and what is true about you now and always shall be. Opening this channel, opening this portal. Feel that power and that energy of the Om in the heart. Now I want you to vocalize at the same time, bringing that Om, that home into your heart and into your whole frequency. Beautiful. Bringing total alignment, total unification to all of your energy channels, creating a beautiful flow of your own sacred journey, your own sacred path into expression through the eternal now and into this moment. Lighting your divine path. You are each brought into this field of this divine guidance of self as sovereign, as self as one, as self as all. That knowingness, that beingness, and that expression from that place of the oneness. We honor your journey. We honor your path. We honor who you are, who you have been, and who you will be. We stand in that honoring and we celebrate your being and the totality of all that is the holy you. We honor it, we celebrate it, we welcome it. Mm-hmm. Mm. Do take some nice cleansing breaths into the body and really just feel that beautiful frequency within you. Allow yourself to stay with that, to know yourself as that frequency. In this opening, you have all been invited into this sacred space, and you have all been invited to deepen your journey into this sacred space, into this place that I am now in Mount Shasta, whether you do that physically or you do that remotely through your own conscious connection. This is a powerful rebalancing for humanity, and there are incredible portals upon this planet. There are many of them, and this is one of them. And this is a concentration of energy for this rebalancing. So I invite each one of you, if you feel so called, to participate. I'm going to make sure that I create an energetic space and opening for anyone who feels called to come to consciously participate in the solstice event that I will be holding here and co-creating with the beautiful beings that have already engaged with it and are ready to come. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful experience. And I know that this spring is going to be transformative for each and every one of you. And for anyone listening to this later, it is going to be a transformative time for all of us. It already has been, and it will continue to be. And you are honored, and you are held in energy through this experience. You're not walking this path alone. And sometimes it can be challenging, but you are never alone. You are never not being held. You really are being held in this flow of energy. Sometimes we feel it more than others. We don't always recognize that it's around us. We don't always know it to be there, but it certainly is. And I invite you to reach out if you want to deepen into this practice. I do encourage you to reach out. I'm still doing private sessions, and I always love to work with you individually. But these energies are big, and they are so profound. And so I encourage you to each in meditation to connect into these streams and to know yourself as the powerful sovereign being that you truly are, and that we are becoming once again through our awareness and through our own ability to embody more of our soul frequency so that we know ourselves as the potential of what we've always had within us. And that is what is coming to light now. So I'll end with that. I thank each and every one of you for being here today and helping me create this beautiful space together. For the alignment of all of you being here helps to bring in this big, powerful energy that I've been connecting with. I want to thank the land, Mount Shasta, for holding space for me to also do this with you today. It really came in so effortlessly here, so easily. So I really thank you all. And I look forward to connecting with you again. I'll create more opportunities for us to connect because it's such a powerful way for us to come together in community and create energy together. And it's powerful, and it's really nurturing for me especially, and I hope it's nurturing for you too. All right, with that, I send you lots of love, lots of hugs, and lots of blessings for an easy and peaceful unfolding and elevation of your spirit. All right, goodbye for now.